Money Mark, how you doing?
I'm incredible. How are you?
Incredible, incredible, incredible. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being part of this revolutionary experience. We are creating the first and largest minority-led financial empowerment conference that's going to showcase all of the talents and abilities from minorities all across the land on MLK weekend. Y'all excited about that?
Yeah.
The good thing, and we have a big mission and goal, right? This is not about one person, one organization. This is about financial empowerment across the land. And that starts here in the great land that we live in. And our mission over this weekend is to create a $1 billion impact on MLK Day. Barbecues are good. Y'all like barbecue, right?
Yeah,
We've been barbecuing for years, and that is phenomenal. But now we need to take it to the next level, right? We need to find a way to change the narrative and decrease this wealth gap on MLK weekend, which was the dream, right? That was the dream, and now it's time to make it a reality. And unfortunately, we haven't seen a lot of plays run, so we're gonna run this play on MLK weekend, right? So the goal is this weekend, because once your mind is expanded, it can never conform. So during this weekend, we are going to create $100 million of revenue between our sponsors, between the attendees, between everybody that's at the conference. We're talking 1,000 vendors in their respective fields. And we have a few eloquent people that are the best in the game at what they do. And I'm excited to just be in their presence at this time. So thank each and every one of you for being a part of this. And we look forward to having this great MLK conference. So thank you, guys. I'm gonna introduce a few people. And first of all, we are at one of this venue that we're going to hold this historic conference at is the biggest, baddest venue in Houston, second to the one that we're in right now, because it's not done yet, right? So thank you so much for the Ion. We actually have the CEO here. So everybody give a hand for Jan. He is the CEO of the Ion. We're sitting here. They've been so gracious to not only let us be here for a second and say, hey, you can do your conference here, but they're actually going to go a step further, and we're going to bring a lot of our attendees here during that Saturday night, and they're going to be our VIP venue sponsor. So we're very excited about this. It's an incredible building. It's historic in Houston. It's the old Sears building. So Jan, thank you so much, man.
You are most welcome.
Absolutely.
Super excited about what you're doing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So absolutely, give them a huge hand. We'll give them a standing ovation, but I done plug some chords, right? I think I already have already. So we're gonna pass this mic. It wouldn't be a technology conference if sometimes we didn't have technical difficulties. So we're gonna pass this mic around. I'm gonna introduce you to a few of the other speakers. I have next to me Mr. Barnes, and this gentleman, right? This is the guy that lends the money to the banks, right? When it comes to real estate. And he's if y'all have heard of Clubhouse, he's one of the largest influencers on Clubhouse when it comes to real estate and when it comes to in this great city of Houston, leading that charge. And I want to thank him for everything he does. And he's going to be on a real estate panel that we're very excited about it. So give it up for OJ.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. My name is Mrg Barnes. I'm what they call a long-term buy and hold real estate investor. So I buy property and try to hold it as long as possible. I do single family and multifamily property. I'm actually from Houston. I'm from this area. I grew up in Third Ward. I went to Jack Yates High School. So this building and the redevelopment of this building is actually personally near and dear to my heart. You didn't know this.
I did not know.
But it is. I shopped here when I was a kid. So I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for opening it up. What I do for the most part is I'm an evangelist around owning real estate, period. I believe real estate is the path to wealth in this country. If you look at 90% of all millionaires have real estate in their portfolio. These are pretty much facts that we all know and love. And I'm a big fan of people gaining a piece of that wealth in life, right? That's a backbone of American wealth. And I just want to spread the message around owning real estate, and however you purchase it. So I try to spread that knowledge as best I can.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much for being part of this great conference. And I'm going to let you know, we have a lot of different panels. And before I go over everything that's going to be a part of this, and for those that don't know me, my name is Alan Thornton. I am the CEO of Money for Your Mission, Inc. And along with 27 other Black organizations, we are putting on this conference on MLK weekend. And this is actually personal for me, because I've been to so many different conferences, right? We all have. And it's great to go to a conference and to learn some good information, but we need to move the needle. So I'm just going to tell you a little tidbit between each introduction that I make. Every single ticket that we sell during this conference, every physical ticket, because there's a virtual component as well, we're going to empower somebody at a historic Black college, right? We're going to empower somebody that's been formerly incarcerated. We're going to empower somebody that has been homeless before, and some of those youth you'll actually see and meet them as well. We're going to empower somebody that has been a young veteran, right? I grew up in a Fort Bliss. That's where I'm from. And there were so many young men that tried to escape their current reality and went into the military, right? Because you looked around and a lot of our teachers told us, hey, by the time you're 18, you're going to be dead or in jail. And a lot of times you looked around and that was true. So some of us went to the military, right, to gain some discipline, but then school may not be for everybody. You come out, you're like, what am I going to do now? So we want to empower some of those people. And then there's our next generation, who I'll have a young lady speak about when she comes up, that they know how to hustle, and they're like right on that brink, right? And they're in an underserved community. I could either sell a certain product, but the money's not moving fast enough. But I see these pimps, these hustlers, these drug dealers, right? And I'm just telling you how I grew up, that are moving what I want pretty fast and have some of the things that I think I want at this age, but I don't understand some of the consequences going with that. So the whole premise beyond this conference is you be what you see. So we're going to put some of these people so you can see that you can really go get the bag that you want legally, right? Nobody. I would have loved to see. Would y'all love to see that when you were a kid?
That's right.
I would have loved to see that. So that's some of the premise behind this conference. So we're going to move on. And I'm excited to meet this young lady. And I would be remiss if I tried to pronounce her name right, because I mess it up every time. So I'm going to let her introduce herself. But she's a Harvard grad. She has done some incredible things in the community, and she is absolutely empowering this next generation. So let's give it up.
Thank you all so much. Hi, I'm Josepha Emanuel. I imagine everyone can hear me. Yeah, I'm Josepha Emanuel. Like he said, I'm a pediatric psychiatrist. I currently work in Fifth Ward. So what he said about that statement of you are who a lot of the time people become who they see, and we're trying to change the narrative and to create bigger possibilities. But before you even get there, there has to be some investment into your mental health. We talk about being wealthy, we talk about being successful, but if if your mindset is that of poverty, that of being just trapped in a space that you cannot get out of, no matter how much resources might be out there, it almost feels like it's completely out of your reach. One of the statements that has always stood with me is someone said, why don't you just pull your bootstraps up? And someone's response to that was, well, if I don't have shoes in the first place, if I don't have bootstraps, what am I pulling up? How am I getting to work and doing all these wonderful things that you want me to do? So I'm always a proponent for focusing and putting that investment into mental health, because a lot of people, especially in the Black community, it's almost like something needs to happen, like a trauma needs to happen or a crisis needs to happen before we put in that energy. So a lot of the work that I do is a lot of education, and just shedding light on the importance of building and bolstering your mental health and as much support as you can get. And so that's why things like building a community like you guys are doing is just wonderful and beautiful, because it holds the other prong into the work that I'm doing. Thank you.
Phenomenal. Thank you. And as we build up the next generation, going back to that premise of we be what you see, we're going to have some incredible, so this isn't announced yet, but this is the press conference. So Mr. Alfred Edmond of Black Enterprise, right, will be heading up one of our VIP sessions in the Fireside Chat. One of the most powerful men in Black entertainment is going to be a part of this. And one of the things that we're also going to showcase is recognition, because people work for money, but they die for recognition. So there's going to be a number of awards every single night. Not only do you be what you see, but we're going to get awards doing it. We're going to get checks doing it. We're going to give live checks. So our influence, you can't even buy a ticket if you wanted to directly from us. All of our influencers, all of our speakers, all of our even volunteers, they have their own links, right? So as they invite people to their conference, not only do they have an opportunity to raise money for their organizations, we're actually going to showcase some of those checks on stage during the conference. So a lot of impact during the conference. So this gentleman, everything sounds better in a British accent. So I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Money Mark. Everybody give it a hand for Money Mark.
Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Hamzat Erabogbo, and I'm going to be teaching you how to make $1 million through serving your community and helping one another, essentially. So met this gentleman, Alan, through I think a colleague who's in the audience, young entrepreneur, just serving, introduced him to an attorney in our network, and this is how I met Alan, and we just continue to serve, and so that's what I will be teaching. Thank you.
Definitely a man of few words, but a few of you will be getting his information after. It's like, what did he say? Was it British? I don't know. It sounded good though. Sounded good though. So after, and I want to thank everybody here for experiencing this revolutionary conference. I want to thank all of our liquor sponsors. We not only will we have a good time during the conference, we're going to have a good time throughout this press conference. So for those of you, another thing as far as impact, we have a number of different vendors, and we have a number of different entertainment venues that we'll be going after every single night. So after the Friday night, after the Saturday night, after the Sunday night, and each vendor has certain bottles, right? Because we like to have a good time, that will be donated to certain causes. I don't know if this gentleman brought it today, but there is a certain pink tequila that I, as Mark would say, fancy, that will come out, that will be donated to some of the breast cancer victims in our minority community. So we get to have a good time, and we get to also empower some other people, right? So excellent. Mr. Felipe Lopez, give it up. So this gentleman, when you talk about, there's one thing to know or to see art, and there's another thing. Here's the thing. When you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at change. And I'm gonna put this gentleman on the mic, and he's gonna change everything you've ever looked at. So give it up to Felipe Lopez.
Talk out of that mic or this mic or that mic? Okay.
You will.
You already know. You already know. So I got the fortunate experience of meeting Alan, about a month ago, 2 months ago. I can't even tell you how many projects we already have in the works right now. But when he told me about this conference and he asked me to be a speaker, I thought to myself, man, I don't know if I want to see that many people at once. Then I got to the location. I was like, yeah, I got this. I was like, all right, I'm ready. But the point of what I'm talking about is art and realistically NFTs, way beyond art, and the power to keep that money within your communities. I'll give you an example. A Moako Boafo sold a $1,200 piece in 2019 to Stefan Simkowitz. In February 28th of last year, before the financial collapse, that particular piece sold for a whopping 52,000% return on investment for $880,000. How much did a Moako Boafo make off of that transaction? Zero. This artist is from Ghana, I believe. He made zero. And off of every other transaction that physical piece, and this piece I believe was sold at Christie's in New York. So it's not a no-name auction house. It's one of the 4 biggest ones. Now, he's not going to make anything off of any of those other transactions. This is why it's so crucial to understand how NFTs and the cryptocurrency market works, because realistically, you're going to stop the of all of our cultures. We're going to be able to retain the value of what our creators are creating, and we're going to be able to financially and monetarily keep it within our community, which is something that we've needed to do for quite some time. I'm continuously seeing artists of the Black descent, because it's quite popular right now to own Black portraits, all popping up in the widest of art collectors' collections. So the way I view that is really no different than modern day slave trading. It's gonna probably piss off a lot of people that I'm saying this, including a lot of my top 200 collectors, but that's how I feel. This is what it is. And if you understand how you can be a part of the change, understand that you're going to be a part of that monetary change as well within your community. For an example, if Ford made all of their cars NFTs and they set the price of 30% return on investment for every transaction, every time you wanted to sell your Ford to somebody else, they would make a percentage off of that without any middleman in between. Your ideas are worth that 30% residual income every single time somebody's transacting upon your creativity. Thank you. I've got another meeting to go to.
So as promised, after everyone, I want to just give you a few titles of the things that we'll be going through over this conference. So the actual premise behind it is cash flow, community, and culture. And our goal is to really mission over this weekend, and we're going to hit it together, is to hit $100 million in revenue between all of our different vendors, sponsors, attendees during this week. So here's some of the topics that we'll discuss. We've heard a little bit about NFTs. We've heard a little bit about fashion. So we were at a fashion show in New York and in Harlem, right? It was an incredible fashion show, and a lot of us don't really understand how to make money in fashion. So every single title that we have, there have been people within that specific title that have made $1 million in doing whatever that thing is, right? $1 million in music, right? $1 million in art, how to make $1 million in digital marketing. We have people in digital marketing that are absolutely killing it. And with my videographer here, I met one of my church members and we got hooked up. But there are people when it comes to digital marketing that are absolutely destroying it. $1 million in crypto, $1 million in NFTs, $1 million in stock, right? $1 million in real estate with text, with political alignment. The other thing when it comes to making money, a lot of us do not know how to leverage, and I said leverage, our public officials that have a responsibility to their constituents, right? They will come out and help you with whatever initiatives that you have. We have people, right, from the city of Houston, from the city of Inglewood, that you'll actually see at this conference from the city of Atlanta, right? From different places that their job is to help you go get the bag that you want. So we just had 2 new people join the audience. So I want to introduce this gentleman, and he's been a mentor to me. He has been a mentor to me, and I want to pass this to him. One of the things is, unfortunately, in minority communities, a lot of times things happen. Sometimes a product of your circumstance. Sometimes you get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Be that as it may, whatever that is, sometimes you end up incarcerated, right? Everybody has had a brother, mother, sister, cousin somewhere along their family that has dealt with them, that circumstance. And sometimes they don't know how to cope when they get out, and they just said, nobody would give me a chance. Nobody would give us a shot. And one of my best friends, unfortunately, and this is why this is personal to me, his brother died. Nobody would give him a shot, and he, not to say gave up, but life happened and it didn't happen anymore, right? So there's somebody out there that this is for, to see somebody that was formerly incarcerated come out of that and be very successful in life. This is for you. And this is why we're doing this. So everybody give Mr. Kyle a hand.
Well, this is kind of a spur of the moment thing, but my name's Kyle Hangs. I'm the founder of a company by the name of Medical Resource Group and Smart Care 360. We're a virtual care management and revenue cycle management technology company. Just a little background, I have a formal healthcare degree in vascular, general, obstetrical, and cardiac sonography, and a business degree. I've been in healthcare for over 10 years. To Alan's note, I have been through some dark times. Was incarcerated in federal prison for 2 years because of a conspiracy charge. While I was in medical school, I got into botany before it was legal in Texas and in several other states. And I don't come from money. I come from a lower kind of middle class family. I grew up on the Mexican border down in South Texas, and was introduced to a lot of things at a very young age. Got out of there as quick as I could and moved to Austin, Texas. And didn't know what I wanted to do other than be in healthcare on the innovation side, not on the doctor side. And went and got some degrees while I was in school. Really didn't have time to work, and stumbled. I grew up on a ranch, so there was greenhouses on our property, and I just was intrigued by the plant. It's now legal in several other states, not yet here, but kind of got caught up in it, stopped doing it for about 2 years, and about 24 months after I quit, feds knocked on my door and said that someone got caught doing something, and my name was mentioned, so I was guilty. And I got introduced to what's called the Federal Guidelines, which is a book that's a bunch of points and laws and things that I didn't even know existed. And 18 months after that, I was walking into a medium security prison. They were going to give me 5 years. I basically gave them some assets and cash, and they dropped it down to 24 months, and I served 18. The moral of the story, I guess, is you never know what could happen, right? You just got to make the best of whatever does. And the way that I think that the law is definitely not in our favor, but sometimes you face challenges or experiences that you just got to make the best of. And so now we are helping people in a lot of different ways. We have a foundation that's called the Mrg Foundation, which is mentorship, resources, giving back. And we help at-risk youth, terminally ill kids, single parents, veterans, and homelessness. And how we help them is by extending our healthcare technology to make the palm of their hand into a smart care clinic, and to improve access to care and really make a difference with healthcare by providing a solution that meets social determinants of health, which is one of the biggest problems in healthcare. So I met Alan because of Grant Source, and there's billions of dollars in around chronic diseases and around just overall, healthcare in general. And so that's how we kind of aligned, and here we are two years later. And I'm just feel blessed to be sitting at this table to be able to share my story, because there's a lot of people out there that need hope. And hope is a very, very powerful thing. And when you have hope, you can do anything. And so, yeah, I'm just happy to be here and hope we can all make a difference.
Absolutely incredible. And here's the thing. There's a lot of conferences that you'll never hear that story, right? You never hear that. You always hear about the success. I'm on the mountain. You don't hear how to climb it. And that's what we want to do at this conference, right? You're gonna hear a lot of things at this conference in not so great places, right? But this is an implementation conference. There's a lot of times that you'll go to a conference and you'll get real excited, right? You'll get real excited about what happened, and then you'll leave and ask your friends, what happened? Right. This is an implement. What next? What do I do next?
What were your takeaways?
What are your takeaways? Well, yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we did a little, and yeah, I forgot about it. But this is an implementation conference. So not only will you have the ability, if you're a vendor, if you're an attendee, if you're a sponsor, to connect with these people, because we have some next level technology, and shout out to our networking sponsor, who, if you're a vendor, you're an attendee, right? You've been to a lot of conferences and you're like, hey, let's connect. You got a card, phone's dead, right? That's me. But during this conference, if you come within the vicinity of somebody, and of course you got to opt in before, you will automatically get that person's contact information. Shout out to InCrowd. Thank you for doing that. Our networking sponsor. But we want this to be a networking conference. Some of our sponsors, and we're working with multiple divisions at large companies like Verizon, like Chase, right? That will, hey, you'll see something that you like. Well, how do I get the capital? And I'm going to bring up a gentleman in a minute. When you ask, hey, there's all this money committed to the community, where the cash at, right? You'll find and see those people and actually get to meet them, shake their hand, have their contact information, and they'll tell you what the clear next steps are. So what I want to hear real quick from each one of you, and I'm going to give it to this next lady. And after that, I want to hear what this conference means to you, right? And you can see over these next 30 days, you'll hear over 100 different testimonials from people that are formerly incarcerated, young kids in different places, from South Central LA, South Side of Chicago, Third Ward in Houston, in Detroit, from the other side, right, of the tracks in Atlanta, right, in DC as well. We're partnering with over 30 different ISDs and historic Black colleges to bring this content to the next generation. So let's talk about the next generation. I have a young lady here that has done a lot of great things for our youth here, works with a lot of ISDs. So let's give a hand for our youth and what we're going to do to this next generation. Brad.
Thank you so much, Alan, for that beautiful introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Kaya Tatley, and I am the founder of Divine Resources, the executive assistant for Blessings in Disguise, and the outreach liaison for It Takes a Tribe. And just to give a little backstory of who I am, well, just a couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was in optometry school for 3 years, putting my work, and labor into a career that was not meant for my soul. And so I worked myself to death to the point where I could possibly have multiple sclerosis, Hashimoto's, and a lupus. The doctors didn't know what it was. And then the reason for that is because I was so disconnected to my spirit. And so in this period, I figured, if I'm so disconnected to my spirit, this is going to be the primary force of what I'm supposed to focus on. And when I did this, I let go of everything that I needed to come to where I am right now. And here I go at this moment in time where I let everything go. Out of nowhere, this divine energetic presence filled my entire body with love and compassion and purpose. And I understood then in that moment in my life that I was always meant to help people see, but just in another way, that this loving, compassionate energy exists and it lives within each and every one of us. And the thing is, a lot of our children, a lot of our students in our minority communities, they are so distracted with everything else that's going on with their families and with their life that they aren't connected with their spirit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to schools and talk about this love and compassion that exists within them, and for them to go within themselves and realize that this divinity exists within you. Because the thing is, success is 90% spirituality and 10% everything else. So if you can connect back into your inner spirit, everything is going to come into full alignment and things are easy. Things just flow. Your success is inevitable as long as you tap within yourself. And so that's just going to be a portion of what I do. But I also go to different schools in the communities, and we build community gardens. And the people that I'm working with, they're teaching business plans on how you can create money off of the garden, because everything starts in the garden. If you know how to feed the people, you know how to lead the people. And so for me, I also want to feed people's souls. I want to help them nourish their mind, their body, and their spirit. And so what I'm going to do is help people connect back to the spirit of all that is within nature, within themselves, because we are not apart from nature. So there's that. But with Blessings in Disguise, the nonprofit that I'm working with, what we do is that we work on, if there's a need in the community, we are going to find a solution. So whether that be our incarcerated, our homeless veterans, our single moms, and our people with disabilities, autism, obesity, our elderly, our children, you name it, we're going to find a solution for you. We're going to have the people who are connected, who has a heart-centered spirit to help people. And so that's just a little bit of what I'm going to share for the beautiful conference that you've put together, where all of us are coming together to co-create something beautiful and create change together as a community. Thank you, Alan.
Absolutely. No, we're gonna, and I appreciate everybody coming out to this press conference and supporting us. I want to announce the schedule, and then we're gonna wrap up here. I appreciate the Ion for being such a gracious host. Please give them one more hand. I'm just gonna speed through this so you know what's gonna be in store for this weekend. So this is a 4-day conference, and you say 4 days? Yeah, 4 days. We're going to do a lot during this, just to give you, Fridays really are our VIP day, and we will have a couple of performances by a special guest speaker, a special celebrity influencer. Well, I already announced him. That will be heading that up, and an African-American billionaire, which is incredible. That night on Friday night. We're also going to do a VIP bus tour. Those of you around the country have heard Mr. Chris Senegal speak. He's going to be a part of this conference, and we're going to do a bus tour as well that day, which is absolutely incredible. Saturday night, and I'm just going to just give you a quick tidbit. We're going to do $1 million mindset panel. We're going to kick it off with that. And for those of you that don't know Naj, she's absolutely incredible. Heads up the Black Wall Street app. Met her in Tulsa, Oklahoma during the centennial. Compliance and insurance. I have a gentleman that is absolutely on fire, that raised one of the largest seed rounds in history that will be there. The fashion panel. We'll have some execs down from NYC and people that are building billion-dollar brands. $1 million over lunch. And we've heard about this real huge commitment to the Black community, but we're going to have VCs from all across the country that you can actually touch. Because what's the question we're asking? Like, where the cash at? Where's it at? So you can actually touch them. Picture $1 million. You saw Mr. Felipe Lopez on that, how to make $1 million in music. And you will see a few Southern rappers on that to actually teach us the game and how they got here. A few of you have met them in person already. How to make $1 million in short-term rentals, $1 million franchises. There is a gentleman out of Houston, Texas, that is actually going to be valued at $1 billion with his real estate franchise that will be on that panel. And then we'll wrap it up with an award ceremony. And we know that y'all go out, so there will be a after celebration on that Saturday night. The next theme, so that's the cash flow day. That's the first day, and we're wrapping up just with the schedule. The second day on Sunday is all about community. So we're going to do, of course, exhibit hall hours will be all through. Y'all know the Post Houston has a 5.5 acre skyline, the largest in the world, and it's a 1.2 million square feet venue. Absolutely incredible. And we're going to do a live stream there next week on the 13th. But that day, we're going to open up with spiritual gifts. So we talked about energy and having a divine purpose and finding that purpose. We're going to have some of the biggest religious leaders. So you're going to mix rappers and, yeah, we're going to do that. It's going to be 100% authentic. It's who we are, right? It's who we are. Let's do it. We're also going to do, have a Tulsa tribute. So when I was in Tulsa, I had the opportunity, and some of our team and our colleagues, and I met some incredible people, Mr. Hill Harper down there, who's going to pull up with us as well, launch his Black Wall Street app, and a few of the gentlemen who I learned a ton from at InvestFest, the Earn Your Leisure guys, who are absolutely killing it in the game right now at their Market Monday. And they were able to create something during that centennial and build something on the same day that so many lives got destroyed. So we're going to have a few of those organizers and a few of those attendees from that as well. Black Billions on Social is going to be another panel. $1 million over lunch. We're going to do a pitch competition. The difference between this is a lot of these competitions, we're going to give the cash on stage that day through our sponsors. So give a hand for that, right? To actually see the cash being deployed. New Age Millionaires, $1 million out the pen, crypto panel, investing in the next generation, $1 million in the dirt real estate panel. And we have one of the top gentlemen in the world that's going to be on that panel. So I know I'm wrapping up. I'm about to get the Apollo hook here. So I'm keeping it going. The last day is Monday, and this is the equity day. This is our culture day. So the goal is this year to do $100 million over this weekend. The big goal, right, is to create Martin Luther King Day, MLK Black Monday, and create a $1 billion holiday. Black Friday today is a $10 billion holiday. We want to make MLK Black Monday, right? Go out and buy from Black businesses, $1 billion holiday. Why not? Y'all with that? Yeah. Let's do it. All right. So that last day, we're going to have a historic, not only the parade, but we're going to have a historic battle of the bands on the largest rooftop in the nation, 5.5 acres. And we're going to do it, and we're going to have a lot of fun. There'll be drones coming around. Thank you for the sponsors for sponsoring that. And there's going to be equity stations. Like I said, this is an implementation conference. You're not only going to have the opportunity to really circulate those dollars between minority vendors during this weekend, but you're going to have a chance to walk away with a piece of equity from some of the people that you meet. Not only will you be able to meet them, you'll be able to invest in their company that weekend, right? And not say, hey, it's nice to meet you. You'll be able to walk away with equity, which usually we just get excited and don't have that. So, and then we're going to wrap it up with a few check presentations from our conference. And then after that, just like right now, we ain't got to go home, but we can't stay here. So we'll wrap it up Monday night. So thank each and every one of you for spending this time for us. We're going to wrap one more thing with closing thoughts. Everybody, we'll start with you, Kyle. Just tell.
Social impact.
The actual name, 40 acres.
Oh, wow.
So for me, I mean, just being a child of Third Ward, right down the street from Emancipation Park, I'm all about people actually going out and making their 40 acres happen with or without a handout.
There you go. So I have a friend in Atlanta that says, hey, there's 40 acres in a mule. We're getting 40 acres in a mill. You keep the mule.
For me, it means using community to build opportunity for others.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, the ION. To me, the conference is about mind, body, spirit, and then, well, wealth is a spiritual concept anyways in itself. So I'm enjoying that, and I will enjoy it. And then it's about education. Education comes from the Latin educare, to draw from within. So we will be drawing from within each one's gifts, sharing them with one another, and increasing our celestial presence upon the planet Earth. Thank you.
Celestial presence, I like that. For me, it means community, it means contribution, connection, and co-creation. And how beautiful is it that all of us can come together with our own unique divine gifts and share it with the world, and come together and create something even more impactful for the next generation.
So thank you, everybody. Our early bird tickets are already sold out. So you can go to the website, get with some of your an influencer, a speaker, a vendor that you know, and purchase tickets through their code. Every ticket that you purchase with their code goes to the organization that they're raising money for. So thank y'all. Y'all be blessed. We love you, and we'll see you at the conference.